guys, Doug B here, your average axe-wielding hack. Happy 2023. Hope you had a great New Year's Eve weekend. Alright, this is usually preset of the week, where I highlight either a factory preset or presets created by third-party creators. But we've got us a new year, and so I thought, let's do something new. This week we're going to try to replicate Paul Gilbert's airport flanger, including the takeoff effect. Now, will we be successful or will we fail miserably? Only one way to find out. In case you aren't aware of the Paul Gilbert airplane flanger, or the AF2, it's a pedal that came out in 2009. It can do all of the usual flanger stuff, but then you hit the takeoff button and it would go off on the crazy side of things. Hit the button again and you're back to the regular flanging mode. And of course there's an on-off button as well. Paul Gilbert worked with Ibanez to create the AF2, which was based on his ADA flanger and Ibanez flanger. Both of those older flangers could create the effect that he wanted for the takeoff mode, but he didn't want to have to tweak knobs while performing to get that wildness. His initial solution was to use two flangers and an AB switch. Then Ibanez was able to create the AF2, which was a floor unit that could function like his two flanger setup. I rarely use the flanger block, but then I got asked if the Fractal modelers could do the takeoff effect. And I'm sorry, but I cannot remember who asked me about this. I will have to get better organized for the new year. So anyway, I took a look into this and thought, hey, this could be something fun that you could use in a solo to wow the crowd. A little hot dogging every now and then can be fun. Am I right, guys? So how do we go about putting this preset together? Well, let's see what we can find out about Paul Gilbert's setup. There just happens to be a YouTube video about his rig from 2011, and it includes the airplane flanger. Now, obviously it isn't necessary to replicate his whole rig, but let's see what we can use for building our preset. On that Mr. Big tour, the airplane flanger is set up so that both sides go crazy. The left side, or the taxi side, has the adjustable controls for manual, speed, range, and enhance, and I think he has those maxed out. Then the takeoff knob is set around halfway. You can't see the settings on the taxi side because he has a long strip of black tape over all of the knobs, probably so they can't be knocked out of place. He has some more pedals in his rig, but we're really not interested in those. He used vintage modern Marshall amps, but he was also using a JMP 2061X in jumped mode. I put together a preset using Quick Build, and I started with the flanger, amp, cab, and reverb blocks. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible so that this preset can work on all three modelers. First, let's go to the amp block. I chose the JM Pre-1 OD2 type, and I turned the gain up to 8. Now, let's look at the speaker impedance curve. It's a 4x12 Brit AX. Okay, let's go to the cab block. I did a search on 4x12 Brit AX, and there is no such thing. So I searched on 4x12 Brit, and came up with Factory 2, number 577, the 4x12 Brit TV 57 C1 ML. Going to the reverb block, I chose the Echo Hall type, and I knocked the mix down to 10%. Now let's look at the star of the show, the flange block. We're going to use channel A for the taxi side, and then we'll use channel B for the takeoff side. I looked in the list of the 31 flanger types and found the DAD 185, which I'm assuming is a model of an ADA flanger. The manual for the AF2 mentions that you should try some of Paul Gilbert's favorite settings, but all I could find was that he sets the takeoff speed knob to 4.5. I'm guessing that his favorite settings was on a separate document and not part of the manual. That really didn't give me much to go with, so my setup process was really hit and miss. Eventually, I was able to set both channels, and I felt like I was getting pretty close, but something was still missing. I watched a couple of videos with the AF2 and got the idea to add the pitch block before the flanger block for the takeoff scene. Now I'm using the octave divider type, but it's only going 1 octave down. I turned the 2 octave down control to 0. Scene 1, or taxi, will use channel A of the flange block, and the pitch block will be bypassed. Scene 2, or takeoff, will use channel B of the flange block, and you can see the controls are all maxed out on it, and the pitch block is activated. All right, let's hear what this preset sounds like. All right, guys, is it a hit or a miss? Well, like so many of the presets that I create here, I see this as basically a starting point for the guys who really want to dig in and fine tune it. I doubt that I'll be hearing from Paul Gilbert's lawyer anytime soon, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good place to start. I'll put it up on AxeChange where you can download it and then make your modifications to it. Let me know what you've done to it. I would love to hear any modifications that happen to this preset. Now this Friday will be part 3 of my Fractal Modelers for Beginners series. We are going to be looking at the A through E knobs. What are they used for? How many different uses do they have? And can they be turned off? Hey, you do not want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, I will see you on Friday.